Hello and welcome to WKNC's official sports podcast in the Den. So, we have officially finished the NHL season. The Stanley Cup belongs to the Carolina Hurricanes, the first time in 20 years. I'm sure you've got your celebrations going on. They lit the tower red. But I decided that for today's episode, I'm going to do a little bit of a historical semi-deep dive into the history of the Carolina Hurricanes, or at least just how they managed to come to North Carolina, because it is a pretty interesting journey that not a lot of the states didn't take. I mean, it was really hard to develop hockey in the South, and North Carolina has a very tribulous history revolving around that. And then I'll also go over just a little bit of news just in general of NC State athletics, especially revolving around track and field since that just finished up. Anyways, let's get headphones on. Let's get straight to it. Well, the Carolina Hurricanes don't really need an introduction. They have been able to settle into North Carolina and become one of the biggest sports in the state, especially here in the city of Raleigh. I mean, y'all live in Raleigh for the most part, and it's just become a huge part of NC State culture to follow the Carolina Hurricanes, especially in the past few years when they have been breaking our hearts in the postseason. And now, as they raise the Stanley Cup, it's great to look back and just see how it all came to be. Because, I mean, as you can probably assume with hockey's foundation and being more of a Yankee sport and being found by Canadian people and Canadian immigrants in Northeastern America, it wasn't really something that was accessible to southern part of the U.S. for a good about like 80 years into its creation. It started in the late 1800s, and the NHL I think only really started in like the early 1900s, and most of what we're going to be talking about is mid to late 1900s, just as like a frame of reference. But North Carolina getting a hockey team is almost 40 years in the making. If we look back into the 70s, where minor league hockey was almost nationwide because it was just such a profitable method. I mean, it's hard to maintain an ice rink, but being able to throw a couple of players onto the ice and get people to watch it can turn a steady profit. That's something that North Carolina had learned and was trying to pick up on. See, even though like the only real taste of hockey as we start to get into this was just 1960, the Olympics in California. It was one of two hockey, America hockey's gold medals at the time when they were seen as huge underdogs to like the Soviet Union or some Scandinavian countries, Canada. So it definitely took its time to settle its roots. And our first instance in 1956, so a couple years earlier, but not as major as the Olympics, was this Eastern Hockey League minor league team, the Baltimore Clippers. They had their arena burned down and needed a new home. A group of Charlotte businessmen, which I cannot find the name of, offered the recently founded Charlotte Coliseum as a temporary site. But what they didn't accept was probably like a really high turnover. There was almost 40,000 fans in 6 games when the Clippers were struggling to even get 2,000 fans at that time. I think that's probably why Baltimore doesn't have an NHL team. I mean, there's just like some ones where it's like these are major cities. Why don't they have sports teams? Like Pittsburgh with the NBA is the biggest one that comes to my head. And this is mostly why. It seems like earlier attempts where it just went so catastrophically that it really hurt their potential. May not be a huge reason, but it's definitely a part of it. And That's what led to a more permanent relocation and a team name change that led to the creation of the first iteration of the Charlotte Checkers. The other notable team in this early period was in Greensboro. You'll see Greensboro come up a lot in this category, especially since they just founded the Greensboro Coliseum. And the only professional sports league at that time was the Carolina League with the Greensboro Yankees. It felt pretty easy to put a hockey team in there because, it's going to be hard to compete with the Carolina League in that spring summer season. And it's probably going to be even harder to compete with Duke, UNC, NC State during the basketball season in the winter seasons. So they were able to take a struggling team in Troy, Ohio, and brought it over to Greensboro with the help of owner and future mayor Carson Bain. In tandem, the two teams had a lot of success in both regular season attendance and postseason success. They both had their own championships, the Checkers having three, and just were, in the higher echelons of attendance through most of their time with the EHL. And, eventually, like, as you see, most of these hockey teams, it's kind of like the luster of having it for those first few years is really successful. And then with time, it starts to dwindle away a little bit. Like, attendance starts to go away, some of the hype and some of the allure of a new sport and a new team in that sport goes away. And that's, I believe, is the biggest theory that I have of what happened with the Greensboro. I don't have the Greensboro Generals are their name, and then the Charlotte Checkers is that they just both weren't really able to keep up and were disbanded in the late 1970s. But it's a proof of concept at this time of, maybe minor league hockey can have a home in North Carolina. And I think this is something where if we didn't have this, we wouldn't be able to get to the next step. And it was something that very few southern United States teams outside of California were capable of doing. I can't think of any other southern U.S. teams that had this level of success, at least in the minor league level. And this was around a time when major league development was starting to grow and hype as well. The World Hockey Association, which is one of the biggest, I think, rivalry leagues in history, because with all these major sports leagues, there's an era where they have a major rival that is able to take a lot of fans and is therefore able to create their own success from that. And that is especially true with the World Hockey Association, who were trying to soak up talent. They were introducing like sub 20-year-old draftees. They were introducing European talent, which at the time was very foreign concept to take in different countries of athletes and try to win with them. A lot of the owners were kind of sticking to U.S. or Canadian athletes. And a way of trying to maintain profitability and finance, their more riskier endeavors was trying to find some new markets to explore. And one of those was Houston, with the Houston Aeros, named after some of the airplanes that were going over town. Houston and Los Angeles especially were the huge sports market in the South and were great choices to settle in. We'll talk more about the Aeros. They had Gordie Howe. They were a team that did have some inconsistency, but were able to relatively be listed as like, one of the top 5 teams in viewership attendance, especially with how they did have at least one. They had 2 championships. Okay, not just one. They had 2 in their 6-year duration. However, they were kind of started to lose their charm. They folded in 1977. They weren't part of the WHA NHL merger. And while it was again another kind of proof of concept on a major level that maybe pro hockey could work in the South. And I think that combination of these small little pop-ups in the South that were able to maintain some success, and then just trying to take what was good from the World Hockey Association, try to put it into their league to, I guess, try to prevent another sort of major competitor like that. There was definitely some exploration of major league hockey teams in the South, particularly with the Atlanta Flames, which, if you do not, I'm sure you probably don't remember it like you were there, but the Flames, they were one of the short-lived pro hockey teams in the very South. It was a huge disaster. They went to Calgary and are now the Calgary Flames. And sort of the same thing happened in Kansas City with the Kansas City Scouts, who are now the New Jersey Devils. So there were some failures, there was some short-term success, and just a general growth in the American population, culture, economy, all of that, where maybe hockey could again find its way. But there was again a needed proof concept. Again, this isn't just like the 50s and 60s anymore. We're trying to look into, what are you doing for us right now? Because a lot of these pro sports leagues are sort of in that similar kind of area with trying to, especially to figure out teams to expand to in different locations. And this comes off just a arena in Raleigh called the Dorton Arena. The Homestay Fair. It's very much a very huge focal point of Raleigh's history, especially when it comes to cultural expression. And, sports is a big part of culture. The Carolina Cougars were there for 5 years. That is a pro basketball team. I think that was in the basketball NBA version of the World Hockey Association. I'm forgetting the league name, but there was proof that a team could definitely try to last there. And so a basketball and a hockey team were founded in Dorton Arena. I have an older episode on the Raleigh Bullfrogs, which is the basketball team. It lasted like 1 year. So we'll focus more on the hockey team, the Ice Caps. The hockey team had so much more backing into it, not having to compete again with basketball in NC State, Duke, UNC. There was no real competition, so the Durham Bulls owners, were the big pieces to backing it with Miles Wolff and Pete Bach. Those two were very instrumental in the development of this team from just being another minor league hockey team to one that had a lot of drive and a lot of push into it that just made it feel like it belonged way more than most of these older ones feel like. And they're also not the only North Carolina hockey team at this time. There was the second iteration of the Charlotte Checkers. The third one comes in a little bit down the road. But the Ice Caps in Raleigh, they had a lot of attendance success, around like 5K attendance in game, which was pretty high mark for for like the AA version of hockey. They didn't have much postseason success. They were kind of struggling to get some wins in. That might be something I do a more deep dive on, maybe in the future. That's been something I kind of like been soft launching in my head, but regardless. Crowds would pour in every night to just see all these prospects play. It became a big part of culture in Raleigh, especially if you're nearby Dorton Arena. There's a lot of, promotions, advertising. It just kind of ran like a minor league baseball team with the help of the owners who helped build the Durham Bulls into the brand it is now. They were doing the same with the Ice Caps, and it just made so much potential for the Hurricanes, especially with a certain stadium being built near NC State's campus that was originally meant for Wolfpack hoops. However, there was a potential, especially when you meet the Hartford Whalers. In 1994, the NHL team, the Hartford Whalers, who was part of that competitive hockey league with Houston early on, they got a new owner, and Pete Kramnos, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Hold on a second. All right. Pete Kramanos. He was brought in more of a rough period for the Hartford Whalers. They had one of the lowest NHL attendance in a long, long while and had missed back-to-back postseasons. So this was the team that had a really successful late 80s, early 90s run, but was starting to kind of lose their shine, and it was something that was starting to be seen as concerning. So concerning, in fact, that Kramnos had to come in and basically be given a lot of optimism and a lot of hope that the team can stay in Hartford and in Connecticut. However, a lot of these owners say things and they don't really mean it. There was definitely an issue on the financial part of trying to afford to be there in Hartford. And there was especially the big issue of, and this is like a really big criticism of Kramnos, especially over in Connecticut, is that it was one of those classic situations of owner wants a new stadium with taxpayer money, but the taxpayers didn't really want to do that, which is weird because the governor of Connecticut at the time was a shareholder in the same company that Kramnos got his money to buy the Hartford Whalers from. So I'll kind of leave that there. But, Kramnos, he did sort of have one foot out the door. He was very stingy on what he allowed in terms of season tickets. They originally had like 5 to 10, 15 game packages for, fans who couldn't really afford a season ticket but wanted to go to a lot of games. He cut those out to just being single or full. And he was like, if I don't have 11K full season tickets, no matter how expensive I make them, he was going to be like, I'm moving the team. And he got what he wanted, but the relocation talks have happened. It's like, it just could not work logistically and financially from what I can tell, or at least just not to the way that Kramnos was wanting. And there was sort of a mini competition with the relocation. It felt like Raleigh, North Carolina was a very strong competitor early on. North Carolina came a really strong contender, largely thanks to the stadium that was being built, which I think is now the Lenovo Arena. I keep calling it PNC still. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but anyways, the whole Save the Whales campaign with the Whalers and trying to get the tickets in and try to get the money in for whatever rebuilding, whatever stadiums Kremlis wanted wasn't working. Columbus also had a sort of stadium in process as well, but the NHL was like, you have the Raleigh, and then we're going to try to give Columbus their own expansion team, which became the Columbus Blue Jackets in 2000. So that's just kind of how it happened. Raleigh was able to get theirs pretty easily after the opportunity came up. It was like they almost pounced on it immediately and was just accepted into the cultural zeitgeist of North Carolina. However, it did start off pretty rocky. They had to deal with staying at Greensboro for a bit while the other stadium in Raleigh was being built, and there wasn't really a lot of attendance there. It was like 8K and a 21K uh, size stadium. It was so bad that I've heard stories. So it's like they had to shut off part of it to make it look more full than it actually was. However, once they got to RBC Arena, 1999, that was it. Attendance shot up to 15K a game, and the team started to improve in quality as well, going with a bigger kind of rebuild to eventually reach a Stanley Cup. I think like twice in 3 years, where they lost at Edmonton, won against. I'm trying to remember who they beat to get their first Stanley Cup. They beat the Canadians. Wait. Oh, that's the first round, 2006. Hey, ain't that a coincidence? Okay, yeah, the Oilers. Beat the Oilers. Played them twice? Okay, no. What the fudge? Okay. Lost 4-1 to the Red Wings in 2002 and then won in 2006. I don't know how I got the information messed up in my head. But they beat Edmonton, lost to Detroit. Things were set in stone. And now they have their second Stanley Cup. You know, they beat the Vegas in 6, which is really fun series. It was a great Stanley Cup series, and I don't think the Hurricanes are going anywhere, and I think that Raleigh has become in part synonymous with the Hurricanes, and, you know, we're grateful to have the team and have all the success that's been provided, and, you know, here's to many more years like this. All right, so I think that wraps it up. I'll go into a little bit of track and field stuff as well. You know, over the weekend, the track and field national championship did wrap up, and NC State finished 29th in the country, which was about where they were expected. They finished in the regular season, I think, ranked 27th after starting the season, ranked 30th. So not a major surprise. It's, you know, just kind of a lot of usual, where it's the strength and the female long distance running. You know, you had Engelhart, the freshman, who finished 11th in the 1500 meters. Got Hannah Gabes, who also finished 11th in 5,000. Bethany Bisholak, sophomore, finished 17th. And then we almost had podium finishes with the 3,000 meter steeple. You had Angelina Napoleon, who finished in 4th with her personal best at 9.5 minutes, additional 6 seconds. And Kate Putman, a sophomore, who finished in 6th. Napoleon Putman were first team All-Americans in the 5,000 meter, and Engelhart and Gapes finished in second team All-American. And shout out to Ryan John, the senior in the triple jump, who also managed to qualify for the national championships, although he did finish 22nd. Regardless, he qualified. It's really good for NC State track and field to have more non-female, cross-country athletics in track and field. I know that a lot of these athletes do play some track and field either primarily or second-handedly. And I just don't mind that was the result that we've gotten from it. You know, and in the conference in the region, they're not a bad team either. I just think for some reason that Southeast does not pull in a lot. They're third in the Southeast, regional rankings behind Clemson and South Carolina. And even finished second in the conference in rankings behind Clemson. Sure, maybe in the overall ACC Outdoor Championships, they did not do so well. I think they finished 12th in women, 8th in men. But the rankings are the rankings. And hopefully in the next year things will look better. But anyways, I think that will conclude today's episode. Sorry, it was kind of a short one, but that's what we have for today. Hope you enjoyed just getting a little bit of knowledge on hockey history. What's our next episode looking like? Looks like for the next episode, we're going to be going over some dual athletes in NC State's history and talking a little bit of the transfer portal as well. So, that's about it. Hope you have a good day and go